Hi, it's me, Daphne Reedmore. I'm here to do my very first full book review for my channel. If you saw my intro, you know that I'm on a year-long journey journaling my 100 books that I'm going to read this year. That's my goal. So the first one that I'm going to review today is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And there are going to be some spoilers here, so if you haven't read it yet and you don't want to hear about what happens, then move on and wait until after you've read it, okay? So there's been a lot of hype about this book all over the internet from what I've seen, and that was one of the big reasons why I decided to read this series. This is the series of Elfhame. And I will say that The Cruel Prince was probably a little disappointing for me because of all the hype. So I do feel like hype is a double-edged sword when it comes to things, because if it doesn't meet expectations, or then it just disappoints, right? So this book was very hyped. I was a little disappointed. I will say this has a lot of world building, and the world is very complicated to me, in the sense like each person is almost like a completely different species of each other. There's nobody that is even remotely similar except for the mortals, and that kind of took away from me on being able to keep up with picturing who's talking to who and what they look like, and being able to have that imagery in my head. As far as the characters, I will say the Cruel Prince, Prince Cardan, he does have a backstory that I do think is a good one, and it does a great job of explaining about who he is and why he's the way he is. However, I do say that I don't believe it endears him anymore to me, because okay, you were raised badly, but at some point you have choices that you can make, right? You don't have to be cruel. So it just, he's not endeared to me. Then I will say there's Madoc. And Madoc, again, like, okay, yes, he treats Jude, the main female character, decently, but he murdered her parents in front of her and then kidnapped her. I think Jude might have a little bit of a Stockholm syndrome here, and it's hard for me to get past that as well when it comes to finding anything endearing about Madoc. Then there's Jude's twin sister, Taran. I think that might be how you pronounce it. I am horrible at pronouncing names. I don't know. So I try my best, okay? But Taran is Jude's twin. And Taran completely stabs Jude in the back. I mean, total, utter betrayal, if you ask me. Humiliates her. And I can't fathom a world where a twin would do that to their other half. And that could be because I'm just coming off of the series Zodiac Academy. If you haven't read that, I would recommend it. But if you know, you know, right? With Zodiac Academy, there are twins and those as main characters in those stories, and they are each other's ride or die, and that's how I picture twins. And so the fact that Taran completely betrayed Jude just blows my mind, and it makes it hard for me to believe. And so again, just getting myself into that story is hard because of that. Jude is angry. I think Jude's character is actually perfect for what she's been through and what she's going through. She's angry. She deserves to be angry. And she, I think, is probably my favorite character. I think the one that makes the most sense to me in this story. And then, of course, there was Locke. Locke is the boy that Taran betrays Jude for, and that makes zero sense to me. He's obnoxious and totally not worth it. I don't get it at all. And that would be my feelings on the characters. As for the pacing, I did find it was a bit slow. And I have, because this is a series, I have already started on the second book. The second book makes me appreciate this book more, though. So if you are going to read this, read the first one, knowing that you will appreciate it more after the second one. So that is my review on The Cruel Prince. If you've read it, let me know what you think. If you agree, disagree, I am open to discussions. I will be doing my second review on the second book. So if you are interested and you want to hear more about this series, The Wicked King will be my next one, hopefully next Sunday. And I look forward to turning pages with you. Thank you for stopping by and listening to my review on The Cruel Prince.